This is the U.S. military Molly 2 canteen cover. I believe it's also called a general purpose pouch. I'll show you why. I was doing a video the other day about this score that I got on the 2 quart, okay? Canteen and Carrier. This is the 1 quart. And I wanted to show you some things that you can do with these and some things to avoid, because these are great as little emergency kits. Basically, this can live on the back of your pack. Okay, you strap it on there. And then if you need to go out and scout or do something real lightweight, you can make this your little emergency kit, basically. I'm just going to show you some things that I've learned over the years and some tricks. First up, looking at the canteen carrier. You see it comes over the top of the canteen here. And we remove our canteen. This one's 1988. It's just the standard U.S. military issue 1 quart. And looking at the pouch here, you can see it's got these little side pockets. Okay, 1 and 2. And that's something that we're going to talk about, because I've personally put stuff in here before and it comes out of the sides here, right? Because there's no solid connection. So I lost something one time. Luckily, I found it right below. I think it was 2% tincture of iodine, but it weaseled its way out. So I've never trusted these. You have to be careful. And that's where we're going to talk about dummy cording things in, okay? We're going to carry a compass in there. We're going to carry a whistle, a lighter, basically maybe a knife. But I'm going to show you some tricks on that. Now, the reason this is also called a general purpose pouch is if you take this, I've got this stuck inside here. But if you pull this out, you now have just a little pouch, right? This comes back over the top. Goes through this piece of nylon webbing. And now you've got a general purpose pouch. So you can use this to store ammunition or whatever you want. But it's great. So I love that it's always, 2 is 1, 1 is none, right? So it's doing multi-purpose things. On the back here, you can see that it's got the Molly. And this one, I believe, is, I think it said 2008. It's got a drain hole on the bottom. It's got these tabs you can, these stop tabs so you can tighten everything down, cinch it up. And that's about it. So as a little survival kit, I'll show you what I add. First thing, into the bottom of it, I put this Mylar emergency space sleeping bag. It's not a blanket, it's a tube, right? So you can get in there. You could cut it and make it into a blanket if you needed. But this is ultra lightweight, okay? Get it back into its little case if you can. That's a task, but let's say that would go right down to the bottom, okay? Then your canteen can sit right on top of that, and it still fits. This has the NBC filter on it. This is for gas masks, so you can drink. If you know these. It's a little big, but you can see it fits on there no problem. It's actually a little bit tighter. And now what we want to do is, fill these bags up. So here's the example. Say that, you want to take an emergency knife. Here's a buck knife. And you stick it in there and you go, all right, we're good. Well, what happened to me and what happens when you don't have complete closure is this thing weasels its way out, right? So you're walking, you're doing something, and now you have no knife. So what I'm going to show you is how important it is to dummy cord everything, okay? And dummy cording just means that we're attaching, let's say it's the compass. We're attaching this compass to this rig, okay? So that way, if the compass falls out, it weasels its way out and falls, it's connected, right? We still have it. So the first thing we're going to do is get some paracord. And let's say, for example, that we're going to do, let's start with the whistle. You want to take a whistle. So we take our paracord, we'll get it down here, and I'm going to take about a foot long piece of paracord. Okay, cut that. All right. Now the goal is to get this piece of paracord through that little hole, and that's complex. So I'll show you a trick. Use our lighter here. Get that hot, and then in a sweeping motion, you kind of squish it forward. Does that make sense? You don't want to burn yourself. Okay. So now if you look, we've got this hole, but that's not really going to fit through there. So what I do is I kind of break it, squish it. What I'm trying to do is get this to be a point, kind of like a V. If I had scissors here, I'd actually cut it. But I think this will work. So we'll get it in the hole. Then what I have here is some just standard wire, right? Real thin diameter wire, baling wire, I think. We'll just get behind it, give it a push, and we just pushed it right through there. So now we have our paracord through the piece that we want, which is our little emergency whistle. So we'll come up here, get these even, all right? Just tie a simple overhand knot. Now this is a little much. I'm just doing this for the video to show you. You'd want to make it a little smaller. It's a lot of excess paracord, but you'll get the picture. So now our piece of kit that we want to take with us, this little emergency whistle, is now on a lanyard, basically. Okay. Then we'd come back, and I've already cut this, so I don't want to waste paracord. And let's say we'd cut a 4 feet piece. Okay. And that's important because if it's going to be on this kit, when you set it down, you want to be able to work freely, okay? So this can move. You don't want a little tiny piece of paracord, right? If it was this long, because then it's not working, right? You're trapped. So you want at least, I'd say 4 feet. You play with it. But just remember, you want movement and freedom, okay? Now on this one, I've got a little S-beaner. You can pick these up. They're great. It's a carabiner, but it's 2 put together, called an S-beaner. And what I've done is just put a quick bowline, okay, here at the base. Attach this, okay. And now what I want to do is attach the other end of this paracord to this rig. Okay, so I'm looking for something to tie off to on this Molly 2 canteen carrier. Right away, I'm seeing these Molly straps, part of the Molly 2 system. Heavy duty webbing, heavy stitching. So I'm liking that a lot. A lot. So I'm gonna come through and just do a bowline. Back up. Come around. Come back down our little hole here. Got a bowl. Okay, that's a little large, but just illustrating a point. You just want to tie off to this, okay? Now, our whistle, let's say it's going to live in this pocket. Well, we've already got our little lanyard here that we built, right? We've got our S-beaner. Now I can simply clip that on, insert the whistle, right? And you just have to get used to this, okay? When you've got this excess cordage, paracord, you just have to be real patient, because at first it'll seem messy and it'll drive you crazy, and you go, no, I don't like it. But eventually you'll get used to the system. And you just neatly stow it, okay? So we're all tight, things are clean, manage your cordage well. Now when I need that emergency whistle, right, I can pull it out, and it is tethered to this rig. So unless I lose the whole rig, okay, no problem. right? Well, it's going to be a problem if I lose the whole rig, but you get the point. Now I've got my whistle, okay? It's tethered to me. Now let's say that I wanted to add my compass, okay? Same thing, there's room on here. You can see that's about how big you want your little lanyard to be. Small. Well, now let's dummy cord in, let's add it to the party. So now I have a compass and a whistle. Same thing, we can pack these back in here. And manage our paracord. Snake it in there. That's about it. Now I feel secure knowing that if this thing weasels its way out of these little gaps here, you know, at least it's going to hang. And I've got it. I can get it back. So we've got our compass and our whistle dummy corded up. The only rule you have to remember on the dummy cord is it's just anything that you want to keep needs to be on a dummy cord, okay? And that's, I'm laughing about it, but that's extremely serious. If you lose it, you're SOL, right? So if you want to keep it, if it's important to you, if it's life and death, it must be on a dummy cord. Last thing I'll show you, these little Mylar bags. I think this is a 3x4. You get them in big packs. Again, you don't want to just be sticking things in here. As I told you, I've lost things. So get these little Mylar bags. You're just trying to create volume, okay? Here I've got some aqua tabs, I've got some matches, I've got aspirin, I've got Nicorette, and I'd have a little mini Bic lighter in here with the Gorilla Tape so I can start fires. You can see, just simply slide that in, plus you're waterproofing it, or making it more water resistant. And I'm just trying to get bulk, okay? I want bulk. I mean, lots of things I've done, I'll take stuff and just stuff it in here. You know, even like a piece of cotton, part of a bandana, something. I just don't want that getting out. You can see, for this to come out, you would have to do some severe wiggling to get itself out of this hole. And last but not least, we're going to need somewhere to carry this little kit, right? So I just took this strap off of this Quart Canteen Carrier. If you needed to, you could use paracord, maybe double it up so you don't cut into yourself. But if you look here on this one quart, it actually has these little loops that are sewn in. And those loops are where these cord locks are. See those cord locks? So if you come in, you gotta manipulate a little. So on that one, make sure that you're facing the right way. We'll come over here to this side. Find that other cord lock. There's our loop. I'm in. You can see that now I have a way to easily carry it comfortably. That's about it.